So welcome back. Today we are continuing the discussion on the applications of Gauss theorem. In the last class we have found the electric field due to a point charge, then electric field due to a uniformly charged shell by applying the Gauss theorem. So recollecting those derivations, we have seen that for the application of Gauss theorem, we want to construct a Gaussian surface, and a Gaussian surface is nothing but a closed surface. So the technique is you are constructing a Gaussian surface such that the point where you are going to find the electric field will lie on this Gaussian surface. And today we are going to discuss about the electric field due to a long conductor. So what is electric field due to a uniformly charged conductor? That is the first discussion now. So consider a conductor which is uniformly charged. So here you have a positively charged conductor, and now you are considering a point P such that we are going to find the electric field at the point P due to this long conductor. So what we are doing is, first we are constructing a Gaussian surface. In this case the Gaussian surface will be of that of a cylinder. So we are constructing a Gaussian cylinder as shown here. So we are constructing a Gaussian cylinder around this uniformly charged conductor such that the point P lies on the surface of this Gaussian cylinder, and R is the radius of this Gaussian cylinder, or R is the distance to the point P, and the length of this cylinder is taken as L. And you can see that actually this conductor lies on the axis of this Gaussian cylinder. Now from the definition of Gauss theorem, we have phi is equal to closed integral EDS. So closed integral EDS means what? It is the integration over a closed path such that it is of EDS. And what is this ds actually here? Here the closed integral ds means here you consider the total surface area. So that consists of three parts actually. One is this curved surface, and there are two flat surface, one above the cylinder and one at the bottom of the cylinder. So this in the closed integral ds can be factorized as integral E ds1, integral E ds2, integral E ds3, where ds1 is a small portion of the surface of the curved surface. ds2 is a small portion of the flat surface which is above the cylinder, and ds3 is a small portion of the cylinder which is below the cylinder. So now you can assume that let E1 be the electric field through the surface ds1. Similarly E2 be the electric field due to through the surface ds2, and E3 be the electric field through the surface ds3. Now we can rewrite this equation as closed integral EDS is equal to integral E1 ds1, that is this one, plus integral E2 ds2, which is this part above the cylinder, and integral E3 ds3, which is below the cylinder. And here, as already told, ds2 and ds3 belongs to the flat surface, and you can see that these electric field lines are always coming normal to this conductor, and these electric field lines will be passing normally through the ds1. So through ds1 electric field lines will be normal, And what about ds2 and ds3? ds2 is over this closed surface and ds3 is over this closed surface which is below the cylinder, and at this point also electric field will be coming normal to the conductor, or there will not be an electric field line which is passing normally through the closed surface. That means there will not be any electric field lines passing normally through the closed surface ds2, or there will not be any electric field lines which is passing normally through the surface ds3. So there will not be any field lines normal to ds2 and ds3. That means what? This integral e2 ds2 and e3 ds3 will be 0. And what is remaining now? Now there is electric field only through the curved surface. So the electric field through the flat surface will be absent, because electric field lines are passing normal to the curved surface, not through the flat surface of the Gaussian cylinder. Now you can rewrite this equation as phi is equal to integral e ds, such that E1 is taken as E, because there is only one electric field present. So that is E into integral ds. And what is integral ds? It is the surface area of this closed path, I mean of this closed curved path, which is 2 pi RL. So it is E into 2 pi RL. But from the definition of electric flux, we have phi is equal to q by epsilon 0. And what is q? We have seen that total charge per unit length is lambda. This term we have already defined. Therefore lambda is equal to q into L. So therefore q is equal to lambda into L. Q is equal to lambda into L. Therefore we can replace this q with lambda L. So now we have two sets of equations. One equation is phi is equal to E into 2 pi RL, and the second equation is phi is equal to q by epsilon 0. Now you can compare these two equations. That means 2 pi RL E into 2 pi RL should be equal to q by epsilon 0, because these two belongs to the part of electric flux. Therefore E into 2 pi RL is equal to q by epsilon 0, and we are replacing q with lambda L, and these two L's will be cancelled, and what is remaining is lambda by epsilon 0. E 2 pi R is equal to lambda by epsilon 0. Therefore E is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 R. So E is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 R is the electric field due to a long conductor, uniformly charged long conductor. Now similarly we can find the electric field due to a plane sheet of charge. So a plane sheet of charge is a case of two-dimensional case. Now consider a plane sheet which is charged positively. So you have a plane sheet which is charged positively, and we want to find the electric field due to this plane sheet at the point P. So from this plane sheet, you know, there will be electric field lines coming like this, and from the same plane sheet there will be electric field lines going out like this also, because it is a positive charge. From a positive charge, electric field lines will be going normal to the surface, and the field lines are away from the charge. So if this is the positive charge present here, field lines is going out like this. From this point also electric field will be going like this. So the field lines are going away from the charges. Then we want to find the electric field at the point P, and what we are doing is, for the finding of this electric field, we are constructing again a Gaussian surface. Here we are constructing a Gaussian cylinder. So P is the point such that, or P is a point on the Gaussian surface, or P is a point on the closed face of the Gaussian surface. Then because of symmetry, you know, there will be an equal part of the cylinder on the other side of the plane sheet. So this you can see. So this is the other part of the cylinder, so that L is the length of the cylinder and R is the radius of this cylinder. So I repeat, for the calculation of electric field, first you have taken a point P from the plane sheet of charge, and because of symmetry you are constructing a Gaussian cylinder, and because of symmetry there will be a part of the cylinder on the other side of the positively charged plane sheet. L is the length of the cylinder, R is the radius of the cylinder, and you can see that electric field lines are passing normal to this conductor, and also these electric field lines are normal to the flat surface of the cylinder. So electric field lines will be passing normally through the two closed faces of the cylinder, and you can see that there will not be an electric field line passing through the curved surface of the cylinder, because all the field lines are passing normal to this conductor. So the field lines will be passing normal to the closed face of this cylinder. Now let A be the area of these two closed faces of the cylinder. From the definition of electric flux, we have phi is equal to closed integral E ds. And what is this ds actually? There are three parts for this surface area. One is the ds1, which is a closed surface, closed face of the cylinder. ds2 is also closed face of the cylinder, and ds3 is the curved part of this cylinder. So closed integral ds means what? It is integral ds1 plus integral ds2 plus integral ds3. So now you can factorize this closed integral E ds as integral E ds1 plus E ds2 plus E ds3. But again you can see that the electric field lines are always normal to this ds1 and ds2. There will not be an electric field line passing normal through the surface area ds3. Therefore electric field due to this integral ds3 will be 0, or the flux through this E ds3 will be 0. Therefore this equation becomes phi is equal to integral E ds1 plus E ds2. And what is integral E ds1 or integral E ds, and what is integral ds1? Integral ds1 is the total surface area of the closed faces, and that is A is the area. Therefore integral ds1 is E into A, E ds2 is E into A, because integral ds1 is A, integral ds2 is also A. Therefore A plus A is equal to 2A. So you have phi is equal to 2EA from the definition of the electric flux, but phi is equal to Q by epsilon 0 from the Gauss theorem. Therefore now you can rewrite this equation as 2EA is equal to Q by epsilon 0, because these two belongs to electric flux. So if LHS are equal, RHS should also be equal. And what is Q? From our previous discussion we have seen that sigma is equal to Q by A. Therefore Q is equal to sigma A. Now we can replace this Q as or Q by epsilon 0 as sigma A by epsilon 0. Therefore these two A's will be cancelled, and therefore E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0. So E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0 is the electric field due to this plane sheet of charge. And one of the important point is, you can see that this electric field does not depend on the distance from this plane sheet of charge. Why? Because there is no term that contains this L or the distance from the plane sheet. And you can also see that this sigma by 2 epsilon 0 is the electric field at the point P, and because of symmetry the same field will be present on the other side also. So sigma by 2 epsilon 0 is present on the left side and also on the right side. So we have seen that electric field due to a plane sheet of charge is sigma by 2 epsilon 0. Now practically there are many instances where we have to keep two plane sheets together. For the case of a capacitor, there will be two sheets of charges. One is positively charged, other one is negatively charged. So in such a case, what will be the electric field present? Similarly, we can imagine cases where there are two sheets, both sheets are positive, and there are cases where both sheets are negative also. So what will be the electric field in such a scenario? That means what is the electric field due to two negatively charged sheets, two positively charged sheets, and also one is positive, other one is negative. So first we may discuss the case of a capacitor. A capacitor is an arrangement of two oppositely charged sheets. That means one sheet is positive, other one is negative. So here A represent a positively charged sheet, and B represents a negatively charged sheet. And since A is positively charged, you know, so this is how electric field line is coming from the charge A. So towards right there will be electric field lines due to the sheet A, which is EA, and here also you can see towards left also there will be electric field lines due to A, because from a positive charge field lines are going away. Similarly, for the sheet B, you can see that electric field lines are coming, right? So in this case field lines are going away, and here field lines are coming towards, and this difference we have already seen in the case of positive and negative charges. Now we can define three regions for this capacitor. That means there is a region towards on the left side of this A, there is one region between these two sheets, and there is a region on the right side of the sheet. In all these cases there will be different strength of electric field because of the difference in the direction of these electric fields, and we will see how these are different. So in the region 1, E is equal to what? The total field is due to the field due to A and field due to B. So in the region 1 there is a field due to this sheet A, there is a field due to sheet B, and in the region A the field due to A is towards left, so you take it as minus EA, plus what is the field due to B? So EB is the field due to B, and you can see that the field line is going towards right. So in the region 1 the field due to A is towards left, and due to B it is towards right, because this field line is actually coming like this. So it is passing through the region 1, and it is passing through the region 1 towards right. Therefore towards right is taken as positive, so EB is positive. And if the strength of the electric field is same for both, then you can see that it is minus E plus E, which is equal to 0. Then in the region 2, what is the total field? In the region 2, field due to the sheet A is towards right, and that due to B is also towards right. So towards right is taken as positive, therefore E plus E is equal to 2E. And from our previous discussion we have seen that E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0. Therefore you can see that it is 2 into sigma by 2 epsilon 0, which is nothing but sigma by epsilon 0. That means between the two sheets the electric field is sigma by epsilon 0 in the case of a capacitor. Then the last region, that is region 3. Here you can see that there is a field due to sheet A which is towards right, so it is plus EA, and in the region B the field due to the sheet B is towards left, so it is minus EB. And if the electric field due to A and B are equal, then it is E minus E is equal to 0. That means the strength of the electric field in the three regions are different, and there is electric field present only between the two sheets, and there is no field present outside these two sheets. That means in the region 1 there is no electric field. That means outside this capacitor there is no field present here, and in the region 3 also there is no electric field. That means outside this capacitor, this is the region 3, there is no field present, and between the plates of the capacitor the field present is sigma by epsilon 0. Now what about the electric field between two negatively charged sheets? So here we have two sheets A and B, both are negative, and from the previous discussion you know that due to a negative charge the field lines are coming towards right. So on the region, in the region 1 you can see it is coming towards A, here also it is coming towards A. Then for the sheet B again you can see that the electric field line is coming towards the sheet. So as previously we are defining three regions, region 1, 2 and 3, and the electric field in the three regions will be different because the direction of these electric fields are different in the three regions. Then in the region 1, what is the total field? Total field is due to A and B. Due to A the field is towards right, so it is plus EA. Due to B, this EB is passing through the region 1 towards right, so towards right is again positive, so EA plus EB. And if the strength of the electric field are equal, that means if both are sigma by 2 epsilon 0, you can see that it is E plus E, which is 2E. And again what is E? E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0. Therefore this is equal to 2 into sigma by 2 epsilon 0, which will be sigma by epsilon 0 as shown here. That means in the region 1 the strength of the field is sigma by epsilon 0. Similarly we can find the strength of the field in the region 2, that means between the two sheets. So total field is equal to due to A plus due to B, and due to A you can see that the field line is going towards the left, right? EA is towards left, but EB is towards right, so minus EA plus EB. So minus EA plus EB is equal to minus E plus E, in the assumption that both the strength are equal, so it is 0. Then finally in the region 3, E is equal to the field due to A. You can see that, so this is the field line which is passing, so it is passing through the region 3 towards left, so EA is towards left minus EA. Then due to EB you can see that EB is also towards left, so minus EA. So due to A it is minus EA towards left, EB is again towards left, so it is again minus EB. So minus EA minus EB is equal to minus E minus E, that is equal to minus 2E. Again that is equal to minus 2 into what is E from the previous discussion, it is sigma by 2 epsilon 0, and what is remaining is what? Minus sigma by epsilon 0. So we can see the difference. In the region 1 it is plus sigma by epsilon 0, and in the region 3 it is minus sigma by epsilon 0. Between the two sheets there is no field present. So previously between positive and negative there was a field present here, but when both sheets are of same charge, that means when both are negative there is no field present between the plates, but there is field present in the region 1 which is plus sigma by epsilon 0. In region 3 it is minus sigma by epsilon 0. Finally, what is the field between two positively charged sheets? So A, B are two sheets. A is positive and B also positive. So due to A, between the two sheets, it is towards right and it is towards left. You know, from the positive charge, the field lines are always away. So this is away, this is away. Then in the case of B also, the field lines are moving away. So in both directions, the field lines are moving away. Then we can define three regions: region 1, region 2 and region 3. And in these three regions, the field strength will be different because of the different directions of electric fields. At first, region 1, and what is the total field? The total field E is equal to EA, but EA is towards left. EA is towards left means what? It is minus EA. And what is the field due to EB? EB is coming like this. EB. So from the sheet B, the field line is coming like this and it is passing through region towards left. That means EB is left, EA is left, therefore minus EA minus EB, that is equal to minus 2E, and again it is minus 2 into sigma by 2 epsilon 0, that is it is minus sigma by epsilon 0. That means in the region 1, the total field is sigma by minus sigma by epsilon 0. Then what is the field due to the two sheets in the region 2? So in the region 2, the total field is E is equal to that of EA. EA is towards right. Then that due to EB, due to B, which is EB is towards left. So this is plus, this is minus. So plus EA minus EB, that is E minus E is equal to 0, as shown in the previous case also. It was 0 between the two sheets. Then in the region 3, this is the region 3. So total field is due to A. Due to A, it is going right. So it is plus EA. Due to B, again it is going right. So plus EB. So EA plus EB is equal to E plus E, which is 2E. And again it is 2 into sigma by 2 epsilon 0, which is sigma by epsilon 0. The total 2 and 2 will cancel. So it is sigma by epsilon 0. And you can see that the total field in three regions are different. On the left side, that means in the region 1, it is minus sigma by epsilon 0. Region 3, because region 1 and region 3 are outside, region 2 is the inside point. So outside, in region 1 it is minus sigma by epsilon 0. Then region 3 again outside, it is plus sigma by epsilon 0, and between the two plates the field is 0. So in the case of two sheets which are negative, in that case also the field will be 0. That means field is present between the two sheets if one is positive and other one is negative, and if both are positive, the field is 0 inside. If both are negative, then also the field is 0 inside. So now we may wind up here. We will continue in the next class. Thank you for watching.